Hello. So earlier this month, I met with After Hours Records to make my very first vinyl, and I'm gonna show you what it was like. We took videos. It's so cute. My sister did the art on here. Shout out to Vanessa. We got all the little song credits. So we did a little 7-inch vinyl with 3 original songs: Memento, Squirrel Song, and Passing Thought. Our friend Ben at After Hours Records is going to be explaining the process, and let's just take a look.
An important thing about this whole process that we always try to stress is that this is done in real time. Although, like, once you drop it and once it's cutting, you can kind of look after the audio.
Yeah.
There is certain steps you have to do to be present, to watch it. Inside we're gonna have 2 songs.
Yeah.
And so in between the songs, there's normally like a gap. And that's where you can place the needle. That's called a scribe. That has to be done manually. So in between the songs, you would actually move this, which moves the cutter head, and that puts a scribe in between. Once you drop the needle, there's no picking it back up and restarting. It has to be the same groove from the start to the finish. And because of that, if you want to, put a song space, you just have to keep that groove going, but you want to be able to visually see that groove, has some space, so you can drop right there. So now it's stagnant. This means nothing's moving. We're gonna turn on the motor down here, and it's indicated by this right here. Turn on the motor speed. We're gonna do it about halfway, because that's always like a safe place to start. So now you can see that the spindle is moving.
Oh, on its own.
Yeah. And we're gonna turn on the amp. So now this amplifier is sending power to the cutter head. The main thing that we want to do is kind of compress some of the ultra high end.
Oh, okay.
When you think about it, and when I play, this is the cutter head, right? It's got 2 little speakers that vibrate the needle. But it's actually a diamond. It's very, very sharp. That diamond is sitting in between 2 tiny little speakers, and those speakers vibrate the diamond to basically cut that groove into the record. And then right here, I'm just like buffing off the disc. Sometimes that stuff does leave like a residue. But yeah, so if I play the music, you'll hear.
And that's like coming through the cutter head speakers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's cool.
And so, right now, that diamond is vibrating.
Wow.
It's
like you can't even really see it vibrating at all.
No, it'd be very hard. Like if you put your thumb up against it, you could feel it. But yeah, you can hear obviously the sound, and so without the vacuum, that would be all you would hear. You would hear this while we're cutting, and then also because we're cutting this plastic material that can be played back, we can actually listen while we cut. So that's another fun part is we're gonna be able to cut and listen and kind of hear what's happening. Yeah, and so the first thing is I'm gonna turn on the vacuum. It's gonna get kind of loud.
Okay.
Or we can yell over it. And then I'll go ahead and drop the cutter head so then it's cutting. And then I'm gonna do a leading groove.
Okay.
So that leading groove, is gonna just be like that scribe. It's gonna give us more space for the needle to travel in. So you know where to drop the needle.
Like 2 twists or something.
Yeah, it's I go slow, so you'll see me, but I count kind of like 1, 2, like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So slow. Now the music's coming through. I'm gonna turn on my tuner here.
Okay, you can hear it. Very
This is what's being cut in. Now the crazy thing is all the footsteps, all the talking is being transferred. That's one of the wild things, but that's one of the things that makes it fun. Yeah. It's like you can scream right now. But yeah, so this is the lead out groove. So now I'm going to go to a predetermined point. I'm going to turn off the motor so it's not moving. And I'm going to lift this. And now, like if I turn this off, I should have explained how to put in. What that does, now that it's not moving and it's just cutting, it gives us a locked out groove, is what they call it. So exactly. So it's a groove within the groove, and now that can't go forward and it can't go backwards. It's locked out.
It's so trippy to listen to music that's just been cut into the record.
It's so cool. I had no idea that it could pick up like when you're talking or with. I wonder if people like tried like recording the harmonies they're like by like singing it over the cut. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
That's so cool.
And you see the scribe and then the lead out. And,
Yeah.
yeah. Needs a little bit of a cleaning, but it's pretty shiny. Yeah.
Beautiful.
And then we'll take this, flip it over to where it's blank now.
Okay.
And then you get to cut this side. So I'll walk you through the whole thing.
Okay.
But yeah, once the music's finished being cut, we want to get to the outside edge pretty quickly. And then we want to shut down the motor so it's not moving. That will do that lockout groove.
Okay.
So that whole step gets a little bit more complicated. Get comfortable dropping that needle.
Just like practice, but not
not all the way, but just feel the weight. Because at a certain point, it's gonna start to get heavier.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And then.
How? And then it's just like I'll feel it when it stops.
Yeah. A little bit faster. So once it finishes cutting, so you can go back and play from right when you dropped it. And here, like if there was any, if you bump this at all, if there's anything, you're gonna hear all those little things you did. You can go a little bit faster. You go even faster actually. And then right about now, I'll stop it. 1, 2, 3, and then we lift.
Wow.
And what you'll see is that's catching up, and it just, because it's a little bit behind what we were doing, so now it's in that lockout groove that we just did. And then it's the same thing up there. It's got the, yeah, as you take it off and put it on, there's this kind of like pops and clicks.
Thank you for that.
Yay, we did it.
You're welcome. Thanks for doing it.
Cool. It's like, it is like really nerve wracking. You're like, this is the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it is like everyone is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like sometimes, sometimes there's just something like there might be a different weight or there might be like some dust on it or something. So yeah, it's really unique to be able to make. We've done like 300 of these for like one artist. So like just sitting there making, but each one was different.
Yeah, that's so cool.
So it's like it's really fun. So these are just like little stickers, right?
Cool.
So if you peel off, this is side A, right? So if you peel off side A, you can place it on here. It kind of helps to make it like a taco when you pull it off, and put the hole over this hole.
Okay.
And then when you stick it down, you go like from the inside out and kind of like
Oh, okay.
push it down. But yeah.
Okay, there's no like bubbles.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I use the turntable to like help me set it, so that way I can put it right in the middle.
Like, center it. So taco.
Perfect.
It's nice that we have these little lines to follow. Logo. So cool.
Yeah, and then perfect.
Wow. So cool.
Then I always go like this. I turn it on and I like
Oh,
kind of do
nice.
the outside.
Just, like, lock it in.
Yeah, but you see how it when it spins. Now we
Yeah.
have this.
Sick.
And that's like another like reason why we picked our logo that way. You know, it's
Oh,
kinda like a cool
yeah. That's really cool.
forever spinning.
Yay. My first final ever. This is so cool. Thank you, After Hours Records. Shout out to Ben and Priscilla. And shout out to Vanessa, my sister. Alright, now skipping to when I went back to pick them up and sign them. So I'm at After Hours Records and we're gonna sign the vinyls that we have. So we have Memento, Squirrel Song, and Passing Thought. Yay. Number 1. Thank you, After Hours Records. Thank you, After Hours Records. These are available on my website, so go check it out if you want a little 7-inch cute vinyl signed on the back.